This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, game number 2 in this back-to-back series as the New York Knicks travel to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. And if the Knicks win tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they're back to 500 on this season. The game begins at 7 p.m. Got Steph in the building. We're going to go ahead and break this one down and talk about it. Steph, how you feeling about this game tonight?
Not too good, Sam, to be honest. I think they're 14 in offensive rating, top 5 in defensive rating. I think it's going to be a tough game for us. But any team can get beat on any given night. Right. So,
right, that's the big thing.
We can
right
get
there.
it.
That's the big thing right there. Right. Any team can get beat, and of course they got some injuries or some guys that are going to be out. So that's definitely going to make a difference when you're talking about tonight's game for the Knicks. Mm-hmm. We know who's playing. Nerlens Noel, he's got to play because Mitchell Robinson, he's questionable with a left sprained ankle. I know Mitch sent out the tweet last night saying that he's fine, just a little bit of a tweak, but I'm pretty sure the Knicks are going to take precaution and just have him sit out at least this game. Derrick Rose remains out, and Kemba Walker is questionable for tonight. It seems like he's going to play. That's what I'm thinking, that he's going to play. I'm going to get an update with the 3:30 injury report. But for the Cleveland Cavaliers, looking at their injury report, Jared Allen, he's questionable with an illness. Lauri Markkanen is out. Of course, Rajon Rondo, he's questionable with right hamstring soreness. Colin Sexton is out. Ricky Rubio is out. The last time we played them, they had Ricky Rubio. He killed us. I mean, he did. Totally destroyed us. Offensively and defensively. They're going to have Darius Garland. He's playing good basketball, out of his mind. But they are going to have some guys who are not playing, which could make a difference for tonight, especially if Jared Allen isn't playing. The last time we played him, I think Jared Allen had a really good game against us as well. We got demolished on the boards the last game. And that's because they got big Jared Allen. They got Evan Mobley down there. If we want to have a chance to win this game tonight, I think we're going to have to at least compete on the boards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jared Allen had 17 rebounds the last game, right? 18 points and 17 rebounds. So looking at their injuries, I mean, does it change your mind about this game looking at who they may have out?
Yes. It definitely changes. It definitely changes my mind and gives us a better shot. Listen, they got a really tall front line when everybody is healthy. Markkanen is 7 or close to it. Yeah. Allen is 7 or close to it. And Mobley is 7 or close to it. That's a really tall front line.
Crazy.
Yeah. And sometimes RJ Barrett and sometimes Julius Randle have difficulty scoring over long, lengthy guys with long wingspans. So if any of those guys is out, we definitely have a better chance. And matter of fact, from what you're saying, maybe only Mobley will be available. You know, and as good as he's playing, he's still a rookie, So I like our chances much better if that's the case.
Right. Looking at it, Lauri Markkanen is out.
Okay.
Jared Allen has an illness. So he could be out. He's questionable. So that definitely takes down a lot of their length from those positions. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you're right. Jared Allen, 7 foot. Lauri Markkanen, 7 foot. And Evan Mobley is 6'11". Oh, Lauri Markkanen is maybe 6'10", but still, same thing.
Okay.
I mean, those guys that's a long group of players. Lauri Markkanen is close to 7 foot, and he's playing the 3 position. Right. RJ Barrett would have been guarding Lauri Markkanen.
Right.
From that 3 spot. So it definitely gives an advantage to the New York Knicks. Now, who do they start in lieu of those guys? It's hard to say. Right. It's hard to say, but I'm looking at it.
Definitely shorter guys.
Shorter guys. Definitely shorter guys, right. Looking at the starting lineups, I'm looking at, for the New York Knicks, if Kemba Walker is good to go and he starts, he'll probably start at the point guard spot. I don't agree with it. I think you should just rock with what you have. But knowing Tibbs, he'll probably start at that point guard spot. So you got Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. Oh, not Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel. And then for the Los Angeles Clippers, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, you got Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, probably Cedi Osman, Kevin Love at power forward, and then moving Evan Mobley to the center position. That's what I think would probably happen.
Right.
I can't see it any other way. I guess we'll start off with Kemba Walker and Darius Garland. What do you think about that matchup?
I mean, if Kemba gets hot and have one of those throwback games like he did in Boston and Charlotte, he can win this matchup. But if he doesn't, I think Garland wins the matchup. He's getting a lot of minutes with Rondo being out and Rubio injury. So he's getting a lot of minutes, and he's taking advantage of those minutes. He's had a few games where he's had 12 assists. He could shoot the 3. He's very active. So I think Garland wins that matchup unless Kemba just is explosive on the offensive end.
Yeah, Darius Garland is averaging 19.8 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 8.1 assists per game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's definitely having a coming out year. You know what I mean? He's stepping it up to the next level, which makes Colin Sexton expendable, but obviously he's hurt. And all the other point guards they have, probably expendable, but he's having a heck of a year. And Kemba Walker, on the other hand, is probably having the worst year of his career.
Yep.
When you really look at it, as far as the injuries are concerned, the minutes that he's playing, the first time in his career that he's been benched.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's shooting the ball well, but the inconsistency is just an issue. 13.5 points for Kemba Walker, only averaging 3.6 assists per game. Like I said, he is shooting the ball well, and at least from the three-point line, he's shooting 40%. From the field, he's shooting 41.2%. The good thing about it is that Darius Garland isn't super big.
Right.
He's 6'1", 192 pounds. Kemba Walker is 6 foot. So I don't know if we have to worry about a size matchup issue. But then, of course, we got to worry about Darius Garland being able to take him off the dribble, so on and so forth. Darius Garland, shooting from the field. He's shooting 36% from 3, shooting 46.9% from the field overall. That's definitely going to be a matchup to watch. And I think, honestly, when I look at who's possibly playing, this game probably goes as the point guards go and as the center position goes. Because, if Evan Mobley is playing at the center spot, how those guys go is probably how this game is going to go, in my opinion. Now, obviously, for the Knicks, it's going to be a little bit different because you got Nerlens Noel at the center spot. You know, you got R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle at the small forward and power forward spot. So, you know, it changes things. But I think a lot is going to depend on what Darius Garland and Evan Mobley do tonight. But the next matchup I want to look at is Evan Fournier and Isaac Okoro. What's your take there? Isaac Okoro is a good defender.
He is. And he's a good defender. And it depends on if we get any aggressive Fournier or not. If we're not getting the aggressive Fournier, he could take Fournier out the game. Because Fournier is not someone. There are times when Fournier, in my opinion, just lets the game come to him. And there's other times when he's really aggressive and going after his shot. And I think he's going to need to do that because Okoro is going to be all over him. So if he's going to wait for an open shot, he's not going to have many. You know, so he really has to be aggressive. He needs to come off that screen ready to shoot. Okay. Otherwise, I definitely think offensively he's a better offensive player than Okoro is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But is he gonna unleash that? Like, is he gonna be aggressive and make Okoro work? So this is interesting. Like offensive skill set versus a really good defender. I'm gonna give Fournier the edge.
Yeah, I think Fournier should have the edge because I do think that you can do things to get him free. And normally, even when he has a good defender on him, he ends up being free in the corner, on the wing, or whatever it is, you know, because of the style of basketball that the Knicks play.
Right.
You know, Isaac Okoro last season, I think he scored okay last year when he was a rookie. This year, you know, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. I'm going to check it out right now, just to see exactly what he's doing out there. You know, he was injured for a lot of the season. But, you know, he's not a guy that your team is depending on him to score, or the Cleveland Cavaliers are depending on him to score. He's out there because of his defense. He's averaging 9 points a game, 3 rebounds per game. He shot the ball better from the field last year than we thought he would. And this season, he's shooting 45% from the field, but only 29% from the three-point line. You know, he's a good, young, athletic guy, strong guy, but defensively is where he's going to make his bread and butter here in the league.
Right.
You know, so Evan Fournier's got to be, you know, he's got to be ready, you know, to play against someone who's physical. I don't expect Evan Fournier to get a lot of drives to the basket off of Okoro, you know, because I think Okoro is stronger and probably faster. But if Evan Fournier can move around off of screens, find himself open from the three-point line, and hit his shots from the perimeter, you know, I think Evan Fournier should win this matchup as well. But it is going to be interesting to watch. It is going to be interesting to watch. Yeah. Then we got R.J. Barrett and Cedi Osman in this starting lineup. You know, it would have been R.J. Barrett and Lauri Markkanen, right? But Lauri Markkanen is out for tonight. So it looks like it'll be R.J. Barrett and Cedi Osman. Any thoughts on that matchup there?
As what's his name? Kareem would say, barbecue chicken. I think RJ Barrett, you know, wins this matchup. And, you know, he may not have an efficient game. It's fine. We need those counting stats. We need those points, whether they're efficient or not, because the Knicks just have a difficult time scoring. So if RJ Barrett is the RJ Barrett that's been playing, he wins this matchup hands down.
Yeah. Now, you might see Isaac Okoro guarding RJ Barrett, Cedi Osman guarding Evan Fournier. When you think about it.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's possible.
I think you might see that just so that Isaac Okoro can give RJ Barrett problems and make it tough for him. You know what I mean? It's Cedi Osman and Evan Fournier, you know, similar type players, you know, similar type speed, all that kind of stuff. Cedi Osman might even be a little bit more athletic than Evan Fournier. Right. But I could see those two matching up, and then Isaac Okoro and RJ Barrett matching up. And, you know, if that happens, if it's Isaac Okoro guarding RJ Barrett, how do you see that matchup playing out? Because that's a tougher matchup for RJ Barrett. You know, not saying that RJ has to worry about him scoring a lot of points, but the defense.
Right. I still think RJ wins the matchup, but RJ may not be as efficient with Okoro on him. Yeah, so it may take like the last 24 points to get, to get 24 shots to get 24 points. But I think Barrett still wins the matchup.
Yeah, I would think so too. Barrett, RJ's on a hot streak right now. He's playing good basketball. He's he's really, really engaged. I think he's feeling like maybe he even is even feeling like the torch is being passed to him at this point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can see it in his game. Just listening to his interviews, to me, he feels more confident. It sounds like he feels more confident when he's doing his interviews. He's a little more engaging in his interviews. And a lot of times when you become more engaging in situations like that, to me, it means that your confidence is high. You know what I'm saying? You see it in Mitchell Robinson, right? When Mitchell Robinson first came to the Knicks, he was shy, didn't want to look in the cameras, didn't want to look at the reporters, real quiet and soft-spoken. As he became more confident in himself as a young man, he's much more engaging when he's doing his press conferences. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing the same thing from RJ Barrett. And of course, the things that RJ Barrett says, he knows exactly what to say when he's doing his press conference. But his confidence is really, really growing. And, it feels like he's starting to take the mantle, on his team. So I'm expecting for him to come out and play well.
I have a quick question, Sam. Mm-hmm. Rich Jim made a good point. When Kemba's back in the lineup, RJ's role changes.
It does.
Now, if Kemba's in that lineup, does RJ? I think he still wins his matchup though, but maybe it's a little closer because he's in a different role, playing off of Randle, playing off of Kemba, as opposed to having it in his hand as much.
That's a really good point. It does happen that way when Kemba Walker's playing. He gets relegated to being, a guy who's catching the ball in the corner.
Right.
Let's see if maybe Tom Thibodeau mentioned that he'd like to go with a 9-man rotation. Right? In his last post-game interview or whatever it was. So maybe what he's thinking right now, because he's seen what RJ can do, and he's done it, of course, in the past. But although Kemba is there and RJ, his role changes with that first unit, giving him many more minutes with the second unit,
right,
where he can be the primary guy. He can be the primary facilitator, not the primary guy. And so then maybe you're still getting that type of production from RJ,
right?
If you're doing it in that manner. But that's a really good thing to watch. I would really like to see RJ continue to have a good game, even though Kemba Walker is there.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. And let Kemba Walker play off of RJ.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe that even puts less pressure on Kemba Walker and his arthritic knees. If he gets a chance to, kind of, I don't want to say, I guess here's the question with both of these guys. If RJ has the ball in his hands more than Kemba, and RJ's doing a lot of the creation and facilitation on the floor, are you utilizing Kemba Walker the best? And that's vice versa. If Kemba Walker is doing the facilitation and you're sticking RJ in the corner, letting him come off a couple of curls or something like that, catching a couple handoffs, are you utilizing RJ Barrett the best?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess therein really does lie the problem, because then you need there's three guys out there. RJ's beginning to learn how to facilitate. Julius Randle's been doing some facilitation. Kemba Walker, he's used to being a guy with the ball in his hands, and it's creating some confusion, I guess. So Yeah, that's a good question. It's something to definitely watch for tonight. As Kemba Walker returns to the lineup.
Right.
Yeah, let me get Big Bubba in here. I don't know what he's
Isaiah
laughing about.
Hey, my queen.
How are you?
What's going on? What's up, Sim?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. I don't got a good feeling, but I got a good feeling about this game.
You said you don't have a good feeling, or you do have a good feeling?
No, I got a good feeling about the game.
Okay.
I think the Knicks can. Put it together. Even though Cleveland's one of the best teams in the NBA right now. Good young, great team. Great defensive team. Got the Rookie of the Year in my book so far. So it's going to be good, man. But RJ's playing good. Randle had a good game. So I know we've been talking about it all season. Let's see if we can get something going and get a little consistency in there.
Yeah. Well, right now it looks like Jared Allen may not be in the game. Lauri Markkanen is out, and if so, the lineups are looking a little bit different, right? So now, if the injury report remains the same, it looks like Julius Randle could be facing off against Kevin Love. So, Isaiah, since you're just joining us, your thoughts on that matchup, if that's what it is.
Hey, listen, Kevin Love's never been a good defender. He's never been a good defender. I think there's opportunity, and he's not athletic. So I feel like Julius Randle could have Julius Randle should win this matchup. Only thing I would say is just you got to box Kevin Love out, because at the end of the day, he's still one of the, best power forward rebounders ever. Got to give him that.
Right.
That man can rebound. I remember, I think it was a long time ago. I think he had the 30-30 on us, if I'm not mistaken, a long time ago, back when he was on the T-Wolves. But you just always got to keep Kevin Love just out of the paint and try to box him out. But also you got to stick with him, because again, he's one of the best power forward shooters ever.
He can shoot.
So you gotta respect that. He's still Kevin Love at the end of the day. Don't matter if he's in Cleveland. He's having a good role. Is he? Oh, so he's probably going to start, because doesn't he usually come off the bench now?
He normally comes off the bench, but it looks like he may start today because of the injury report.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So my thing is, listen, attack him. Julius Randle, you're stronger than him. You're more athletic than him. Again, he's not a good defender. He's never been. Even when they had the championship teams, he wasn't really a good defender. So I think this is a matchup for Randle to take advantage of and win.
But the thing about it is, Randle, and I guess we'll get to that matchup, has to defend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Love is not he's not who he used to be, but he's not a slouch either.
No, you can't leave. See, that's the thing too. That's what I'm saying. That's what worries me about, again, Julius Randle has had a habit this season of just letting, his man just be by himself and shoot. And this is Kevin Love we're talking about. So, you're talking about a guy that can have an 8 for 10 game behind the 3-point line. If you don't play careful enough, so you get Julius Randle. Again, I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but Julius Randle just has to play defense and step up,
Well, it's not just playing defense that he has to do, because I think he plays defense. He has to close out on the shooter. Right, because he has a habit of, the shooter be open out at, and
then he rushes over there.
3-point line. Sometimes he doesn't rush. Sometimes he takes a step and it says, well, I'm going to come in here and try to get the rebound. Now,
then they make it.
You never know what the defensive scouting report says. There may be certain players where you do say, you know what, if he shoots it, just come in and try to get the rebound, because this guy is not a good shooter. You can't do that against Kevin Love, obviously, because he can knock it down. You know what I mean? So the thing is now, Julius Randle making sure that he gets to his rotation, closes out on Kevin Love, and at least gets a hand up. Or I don't even, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. If Julius Randle is running from across the floor, as long as he's coming out and contesting the shot, I'm cool with that, because the defensive scheme, you've seen RJ had to do it yesterday. Run all the way across the floor to contest the guy that he was defending, right? Because that's what the defensive scheme calls for. We just need to make sure that's being done if he's guarding Kevin Love.
Right.
And then from the center spot, Mitchell Robinson, I seen someone ask in the chat, if Mitchell Robinson was playing today, he's questionable right now with a left sprained ankle. All right, so I'm assuming that they're probably going to rest him, and looking at Nerlens Noel in that starting center spot going up against Evan Mobley. All right, Evan Mobley, of course, is killing the NBA right now as a rookie, and is a big reason that the Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. All right, Evan Mobley is averaging 15 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 2.6 assists per game. Right, and he normally plays power forward for this team. At 6'11", he's normally playing power forward. But with the injuries to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the lineups are going to shift around a little bit. Right, he's shooting 51.1% from the field and 30.9% from the three-point line. Steph, your thoughts about this matchup? We obviously know Nerlens Noel is not going to score with Evan Mobley, but what can he do defensively?
Make it hard for him to score, keep him off the offensive boards. If you get an opportunity to shoot, because that keeps him honest, right? That means he has to play you. Don't go crazy jacking up 6-7 shots. But if you get an opportunity to shoot, then he has to play him honestly. But he has to keep him off the offensive boards. He has to make him, defend. And that's going to be hard because Noel is just not a, offensive player. But if he can keep him off the offensive boards, that helps a lot.
Yeah. Now, see, this is the thing. Yeah. No. The only way that I can see that you make Evan Mobley defend, and I don't know if this is going to happen.
Right.
But if you play some pick and roll with RJ Barrett and Nerlens Noel, maybe Julius Randle and Nerlens Noel, Kemba Walker, with those guys, with Nerlens Noel, and force Evan Mobley to switch on someone who is more offensive minded. Then maybe you can make him work a little bit, and get him tired. Now, are those matchups advantageous to the Knicks, though?
Right.
Maybe if Julius Randle is switched on to Evan Mobley, that's advantageous to the Knicks. Right? He's 6'8". He's probably stronger than Evan Mobley. RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, or Kemba Walker. I don't know if that's to the advantage of the Knicks.
Yeah, I was about to say something. I mean, there's talks about. They got talks about. There's a few rumblings that they got Evan Mobley as running for Defensive Player of the Year. There's rumblings about it. You know what I'm saying? This kid is he's looking like. I don't want to give him Kevin Garnett, but he's looking pretty dang good. Like I said before, there's even talks about him they even talked about him being an All-Star this year because they got Cavs at the top 14. They might pick 2 out of them. I know Jared Allen's most likely going to be an All-Star. They might have Evan Mobley. Probably not, but but he's playing that good. I like you said, I don't know if I'm comfortable with switching off and then because again we remember the first time we played him, we said that we should do that.
No. We're talking about. We're not talking about switching off on him defensively. We're talking about having creating a switch on the offensive side to where Evan Mobley is guarding Julius Randle or Evan Mobley is guarding RJ Barrett or one of those guys. We're not talking about those guys guarding him. No. I'm saying, okay. Because that's a little hard because sometimes with RJ, man, I love that he's on the streak, but he still does that thing with bigs where he attacks them, but then he has there's games where he attacks, and then there's most games where he's facing people like Robert Williams from the Celtics, where it's they're not getting fooled. To me, if RJ had a great pump fake, I'm all about switching because then RJ could get him off the feet. Then he could get the fouls, but RJ don't pump fake. He just goes and then gets blocked, and it's just I'd rather have him just play Julius Randle more. Well, at least Julius Randle's stronger. That's what we're saying. What Steph was saying is finding ways to get Evan Mobley to have to play defense because he'll be guarding Nerlens Noel. Obviously, Nerlens Noel is not going to play a lot of offense, right? So, finding ways to make Evan Mobley have to play defense. And the way to do that is by having your other guards or Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, whoever, force a switch so that Evan Mobley is now defending them. So, see how that looks, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, folks, this is the Game Day pregame show. For all of your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, make sure you check out thegameday.com. There's a link in the description of this video, ladies and gentlemen. That was the projected starting lineups, broke down the matchups. Now we're going to take a look at the team matchups. All right, the Cavs lead this matchup 1-0. They played back in November, I think it was, and the Cavs blew the Knicks out, 126-109. Ricky Rubio went crazy. The Cavs just dominated that game from top to bottom. The Cavs had 48 rebounds. The Knicks had 32. 31 assists from the Cavs, 21 for the Knicks. 8 steals for the Cavs, 9 for the Knicks. 2 blocks for the Cavs, 9 for the Knicks. I mean, at least the Knicks got some blocks, but it didn't mean nothing. The Cavs turned the ball over a little bit more, 15 times, but the Knicks couldn't capitalize. The Knicks only turned it over 10 times. The Cavs shot 54% from the field. They shot 54% from 3 and 82% from the free throw line. The Knicks, they shot 46% from the field, 30% from the three-point line, and they shot 91.7% from the free throw line. But you know the big number that sticks out to me, Steph, is that rebounding number.
Right.
Right. 48-32, the Cavs dominated the glass. You know, so that means while the Knicks were missing shots, the Knicks were not getting offensive rebounds.
Right.
All right. Jared Allen had 17 rebounds in that game. This concerns me because Mitchell Robinson is likely going to be out tonight. He's the Knicks' best offensive rebounder. And without him there, I mean, it's a good thing that Jared Allen may not be there tonight and Lauri Markkanen is possibly going to be out. But if Jared Allen does end up playing, you know, that could really pose a problem for the Knicks because you don't have someone in Mitchell Robinson that can match that rebounding output, you know, from the center position. Julius Randle can get you rebounds. Nerlens Noel is not going to get you rebounds from that center spot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the big number that really concerns me with this matchup. I think the Knicks can keep them to worse shooting because I think a lot of that shooting came from Ricky Rubio, you know, because he was so hot, 37 points or whatever he had. I think the Knicks can keep them below this 54% from the field and from the three-point line. If so, can they grab those rebounds? Any thoughts on that, Steph?
Yeah, I think that's going to be definitely an issue. You know, if Jared Allen isn't there, that helps us. But like you said, Mitch is not there. So Randle has to do his usual as far as the board is concerned. But RJ had, I believe it was 12 rebounds the other game.
14.
He's going to have to 14, excuse me.
Gotta get it right, mama. Yeah.
Don't take his rebounds away.
Right. So he's gonna have to rebound for us as well, you know. But hopefully we shooting better and we're not missing as much shots. But yeah, the guards are gonna have to rebound. They're gonna have to pitch in, especially if Mitch is not there.
Yeah, especially Isaiah, any thoughts on that? Rebounding?
Obi Toppin. And
He's just not a strong rebounder, though.
So Steph, right? To me, he's in a bad funk. He's in a real bad funk. To me, this is his worst funk since his rookie season. You know, and the reason why I say Obi Toppin, show something to get Tom Thibodeau's attention. You know, go out there, be a greedy rebounder. You know, I think that can open up a lot of things for him, get him out of a funk. You know, get them rebounds, and get out them outlets, you know, so we can get you going. Get a couple alleys, get a couple easy transaction points. I think that would be important for a guy like Obi. He's in a doghouse right now. You know, he's worse than the doghouse because him and Cam got the same amount of minutes the last game. Cam just got here. But listen, also look, right, I think this would be really good for Obi, man. Get some rebounds. You know, again, he doesn't have to be about scoring right now because just like that. But also, too, hey, listen, we got Cam. He's 6'8". Go get some rebounds, too.
Yeah, he can rebound. No, definitely. Yeah,
he can rebound it. I mean, you know, the question is still up in the air whether or not Cam is going to play that many minutes today. You know, because Kemba is back. That question is definitely up in the air. because that means Alec Burks goes back to the bench, which is the position that Cam played his 5 minutes yesterday. You know, as far as Obi Toppin adding to that, we've seen Obi Toppin rebound, right? We've seen him have some strong nights where he's rebounding the basketball. It's just not consistent.
Right.
You know, there are nights when he's out there and he's playing 18, 20 minutes and he's grabbing 1 or 2 rebounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so
There was a time since. Oh, go ahead, finish.
No, I'm just saying. So it's hard to say, we got to rely on Obi to rebound the ball because he just doesn't do it consistently. And I don't know if he can do it against guys that are strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a time
oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say there was a time when his per over 36 minutes was really good. I don't think that's the case right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I said, he's just in a bad funk, and I just think a game like this, we can help with the rebounding, and there's a big down, so these are the moments that we got to take. I know we feel bad for Obi sometimes. We feel like, man, why is Thibodeau doing this to him? But you got to take these moments when you go out there. You got to show something.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think his funk has a lot to do with whatever's going on with him and Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not anything negative like being said or going on, but Thibodeau doesn't feel like Obi gives what he wants. Obi probably feels like he deserves more minutes. And so there's probably some unspoken animosity between the two.
Well, to be fair to Obi, early in the season he did.
He did.
There's no doubt in my mind that he deserved more minutes.
He did. But
we also got to remember when he did start, it didn't look good.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like when he did start, and he got his chance to start, he had 5 points one game. He had 19 the next game, but I think there were a lot of that was in garbage time because the Knicks got blown out. I think some of that hurt his confidence, right? Because he had a chance to prove that he can be a starter, and he didn't perform well. I think that hurt his confidence a little bit, and I think that also told Tibbs, this dude not ready to perform against starters.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting him out there against those guys. He's not ready.
He's not ready.
Yeah.
And if you remember, I don't know if it was in the press conference where Tibbs talked about the backup quarterback. Like everybody think the backup quarterback can play and he get that opportunity.
Hey, Steph. You know how long, Steph? You want to know what's funny? How long you been thinking he been wanting to say that? How long you think he been wanting to say that?
He did say that.
But you know what's funny though? I think that's to show fans that they do be paying attention to what people be saying.
Right.
Because
Obi ain't with the same sense.
Listen, but when he said that,
he sure has it.
when he said that, I said, "Damn, you might as well just say Obi Toppin." Like, oh man,
that was rough. That was definitely rough.
Hey, listen. I know we get on here and we get angry and we get mad, but listen, I will never forget Doc, because I remember when they used to have that thing on NBA TV, the players circle when all players gather around and talk.
Right.
I'll never forget they did a coach edition, and I think it was Doc, Mike D'Antoni, a few different coaches. I remember Doc Rivers said the number one thing he hates is when fans be like, "Hey, did you try this?" And he says, "Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Everything you think that you don't think we see, we already did, and it don't work."
Right.
But hey, listen. That's why coaches coach.
Right. Listen, and shout out to Kerry Cox who said this. Obi's game right now is limited. We could talk about his minutes and things of that sort. He has to hit that 3-point shot. He has to have that in his arsenal, because I'm sure as a coach, when you're thinking about who to bring in, you're thinking about how the game is going, the flow of the game. What is this guy going to give us? If it's a slow down, plodding game, what is Obi going to get you? You know what I mean? If he can't hit that 3, I think that's something that he really needs in his arsenal. That's going to help him get more minutes on the floor if he can start hitting that. And he did it last year. at least I think at a better clip than he's doing it this year.
Oh, much better clip than he's doing it this year. He's shooting terrible.
And it is crazy. This year. Again, it is, it's not bashing Obi, but there be times, man, where he be open, he just bricks him. I'm not even joking. He either does a brick, like a hard brick, or he do like the air ball. And I'm like, and it makes me so mad that because we'll be down like 5 points, and he be open, and he bricks it. I'd be like, damn, man, come on.
And he steps into it with such confidence to miss so bad.
I know. He does.
I do. And listen, I feel, because I'll be honest with you, I feel bad for him sometimes, but I still think he has a chance to be like a Miles Bridges kind of player. Because Miles Bridges came out, he was raw. Like, he was really raw on the Hornets.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, you got to just...
Listen, I'm not no hate on RJ. On Obi or anything like that. But Miles Bridges had some more footwork. His footwork was more.
Yeah, he was more polished,
stronger player. Those type of things than I think Obi coming out of college. Looking at the last 5 games between these two, not between the two teams. Each team's last 5 games, the Knicks are averaging 103 points per game. They're averaging 48 rebounds a game, 23 assists for the Knicks over the last 5 games. 5.5 steals, 4 blocks. Their turnover, it's going up, right? Their turnovers per game is going up. They're now averaging 14.4 over the last 5 games. 14.4 turnovers, shooting 43.6% from the field and 35% from 3. And 70% from the free throw line. Their record is 2-3 over the last 5 games. As for the Cavaliers, they're averaging 106.6 points per game, only grabbing 43 rebounds a game, 25 assists, 6.4 steals, 4 blocks, 14.4 turnovers. They're shooting 48.8% from the field, 30.5% from the three-point line, and 66.1% from the free throw line. Their record is 4-1 in their last 5 games.
66.1%
from the free throw line. Yeah,
hey, that make Knicks like Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
and the rebounding with all those tall. Has somebody been hurt over the past 5?
I don't know.
I thought Jared Allen. Wait, did Jared Allen just get injured?
Jared Allen played in the previous game.
Oh, that's weird.
Just a couple of days ago.
43 rebounds.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought they'll be in at least 45, like 48, 50, the 50 range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know Weston's not really a strong. rebounder though. Lauren Marketing or Lauren Marketing.
Yeah, but he might not be that strong of a rebounder. But when
that's shocking. You got Kevin Love, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley, and you 43 rounds.
Yeah, Jared Allen in his last game had 14 points and 13 rebounds. Evan Mobley had 15 points and 17 rebounds. The Cavaliers beat the Thunder in their previous game. They beat them 94-87. But beyond that, Kevin Love had 6 rebounds, played 22 minutes. Nobody else really, went in to rebound the ball. They still had 54 rebounds in that game. But it is shocking that they're only averaging that many rebounds per game. Hopefully they only, hopefully they only get 43 rebounds tonight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shoot, my key matchup for tonight, the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Big Bubba, who do you think it is?
You know what, Sim? I always be like, why are you picking Julius Randle? But you got to go with Julius Randle and Evan Mobley tonight.
But they may not be guarding each other tonight.
But I thought Evan Mobley's a power forward.
But everybody's hurt, so Evan Mobley's probably going to play center.
Oh, okay. So my matchup probably is going to be Darius Garland playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kemba and Garland.
There you go. That's what it is. The Thrive Fantasy.
Hey,
Kemba Walker and Darius Garland. That's the matchup of the night because I believe Darius Garland is going to be. I think he already is the engine. You know what I mean? We got to try to shut the engine down. I don't know if it's going to be possible, and I definitely don't know if you're doing it with Kemba Walker. You know what I mean? But Darius Garland, again, 19.8 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 8.1 assists per game. He's shooting 46.9% from the field, 36.4% from three, and 91.3% from the free throw line. Kemba Walker, he's been on and off. Sometimes he can play, sometimes he can't play. He's probably had the toughest season of his career. No doubts about it. Kemba Walker averaged 13.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, shooting 41.2% from the field, shooting 40% from three, and 81.4% from the free throw line. Anyway, is there any special thing that you would do to try to make it tough for Darius Garland tonight, Steph?
I would see if he's really going off, and you might have to send a double team if he's really going off. But I'll tell you what I would do. I would not start Kemba Walker. I would start Burke. And with his size, and I'm not saying that Burks is a great defensive player, but I think as a team, we play better with him in that starting lineup, and I think he gives us a better chance against Garland than Kemba. If we do start Kemba, let's see what Garland does. And then if he's really going crazy, you might have to throw a double team to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah. You might have to do that. Isaiah?
This is, if I'm Thibs, RJ, that's your man tonight. You want to be our best defender?
That's a good point.
And I still think RJ is on his way to being one of the young wing defenders in this league. You got to take the challenge sometimes. Some of the best defenders do this when you got to get the point guard that goes off. Kobe, I'm not comparing Kobe to RJ even. Kobe used to guard Chris Paul back when Chris Paul was young Chris Paul. So I want RJ to take the challenge tonight. I want RJ to guard him. This is your classmate. This is your draft classmate. You got to show him up a little bit. And also, if I could, I'd probably put RJ and I put Grimes on him, and then Burks. But
that's a good point too.
Hit a couple big wings. I don't know about Finn, but I like putting, especially if you have point guards like him. I like to put bigger wings on them. I like to put like them Grimes kind of guys, the RJs on them, to make them a little tired, make them work a little harder. That's me. If I was a coach, then if I was your assistant coach, I'd tell you.
See, I'm not sure about RJ on him. I feel like he's too small, and I don't know if RJ has fast enough feet.
How tall is
He's 6'1".
Okay.
He's 6'1". RJ's 6'7". So I just don't think he has fast enough feet to guard Darius Garland. Grimes, I think Grimes can do it. Right? Grimes is 6'4",
Grimes has
6'5".
feet.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
He got like more. I don't want to say he has swifter feet. Like he's shifty.
Yeah. And he can move his feet well. He rotates his feet well, from spot to spot, position to position. So, yeah, I would definitely put Grimes on him. Grimes fights over top of screens. He's physical. He's a tough defender, and if Kemba Walker's having problems with him, you definitely go ahead and put Grimes on Darius Garland to try to make it tough. But then, when it gets down to the fourth quarter, what do you do?
What about IQ? IQ's perimeter defense has been much better. At one point, they said he was our second best wing defender. I was reading the article. I don't know where he is now, but he doesn't have that physicality though. Right. But he does have the length and the speed.
Yeah, and I think he can stay with Darius Garland. You know what I mean? So I guess throwing those two guys at him, would be a good way to try to slow him down if he's really getting off. But the issue is, if he really starts getting off in the beginning of the game, then it might be too late to throw those guys at him.
Once you get hot, it's a wrap.
Yeah, once a player gets hot, then it's tough. It's tough. A quick question from the chat I want to throw out there. This is a good one. As we're talking about RJ, we're talking about Darius Garland. From Ayub Matan, he said, "You're on the clock. The third overall pick. You going RJ or Garland?"
Ooh.
Oh, you want Steph to go first or me?
Whoever, it don't matter. Just be honest. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this is a really tough one, given how RJ is playing right now.
Sorry, Steph. I'm gonna answer for me.
Go ahead.
I know me personally. I'm going RJ. I know Garland's good and all that. I like RJ, man. I see what he can do. He's 21, and I know Garland's 20 or 21 too, but I'm going RJ.
That's a tough one. I'm not
That's a
gonna
tough
lie.
one.
That's a tough one. That's a tough
That's
one.
a tough one.
It's,
And he plays Garland plays a position of need for us.
yeah, a position that the Knicks have been needing for decades.
I'm gonna go with Garland just for that reason. Just for that reason. But I like what RJ is doing, though.
Yeah, I love what RJ is doing. If being objective, I would probably go Garland. Just looking at what they're doing right now, I would probably go Garland. In my mind, I would be thinking, okay, so now I got my point guard who can distribute, who can facilitate, shoot the ball, can score, blah, blah, blah. Now let me go find some wings and find a center, find some wings. I'm just one of those people that believe, you start your team by getting that floor general.
Point guard.
I
do. So I definitely agree with you on the floor general because Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm 28 years old and I've never seen a Knicks with a stable point guard in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I thought we had it when I was a kid, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. So when I didn't know basketball was him, you couldn't tell me nothing wrong about Stephon Marbury. But you couldn't tell me nothing wrong with Stephon Marbury.
Marbury was a beast, though. He was, man. He was. He just he had some things, but he was a beast. And this is nothing against RJ, folks. It's just if I'm starting a team and I got to pick, between the two, this is the way that I would go. Because
and to be real, you're asking about a point guard versus a shooting guard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. 10 times out of 10, you most likely pick a point guard. But I will say this, man. It's just I see what RJ can be, man. If he gets this defensive thing right, he just gets. I don't think he's ever going to be the loosey goosey. He's not going to be that. But if he can be, I don't want to say like James Harden, but if he can be just a little less stiff and really get that and get that consistency, oh man, son, you're talking about a top 5 shooting guard in the league.
But here's the thing. Number one, RJ's never going to be less stiff. I'm sorry. Look at LeBron James. Look at LeBron. LeBron been stiff ever since he been in the league, but it didn't stop him from being one of the best.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't ever think RJ's gonna.
Right.
His flexibility is not gonna get better at this point, in my opinion.
Right.
So he's got to take what he has and use it. And he can still be a great player in this league. He doesn't have to be super athletic to do that.
Right.
I'll
take Jimmy Butler. Somebody said that in the chat.
Hey, I'm telling you, Seth, I see it with him, man. I'm gonna say it till it happens. I know when RJ Barrett hits his prime, I think that kid can be a 27-7-7 kind of guy. I really think that.
Okay. Well,
I think he can.
We'll see. Somebody said RJ is a poor man's Chandler Parsons.
No, get out of here.
Not even a rich man's Chandler Parsons. A poor man.
Chandler Parsons wish he could be RJ.
Oh boy, that's messed up.
Wow,
that's messed up. Ladies and gentlemen, you're checking out the Game Day pregame show. Please make sure you go to thegameday.com. Get all your up-to-date sports content and betting odds, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the keys to the game tonight. These are my keys to the game. I find out what Steph and Isaiah want to add in. About number one, get off to a strong start. When the Knicks get off to a strong start, they put themselves in a good situation. Now, we've seen them lose it after they've gotten off to a strong start, but I'd much rather have them get off to a strong start and lose it than get off to a poor start and have to try to find their way back into the game. Get off to a strong start, especially against a team that's young, got a lot of fire and energy. You got to be able to do it. Play with some fire. The Knicks played with some fire last night or yesterday, and I want to see him do it again. You know what I mean? RJ had some fire. You seen him get a technical foul. I don't want him to make that a habit. You know what I mean? But I didn't mind him getting that technical foul yesterday. Play with some fire and desire, especially out there on the road. Win the rebounding battle. We talked about it. These guys are big, especially if Jared Allen plays. These guys are big. They can rebound the basketball. Getting rebounds kickstarts your fast break, or if you're not shooting well, allows you to get offensive or putbacks. All right, so the Knicks got to win this rebounding battle tonight. It's going to be a little bit tougher without Mitch because he's been rebounding like crazy. Make your free throws. I have a feeling this could be a game where guys go to the free throw line The Knicks are not shooting well from the free throw line at all. And it comes back to bite you. Make your free throws. Stay out of foul trouble. You know what I mean? If Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are both playing, you're going to need Julius Randle. You're going to need Nerlens Noel. You're going to need Taj Gibson. You're going to need these guys, Obi Toppin too, to be out there on the floor to provide, a presence on the inside. So we need these guys to stay out of foul trouble so they can be there to help rebound, block shots, etc. If they do get into foul trouble, then you might see a Jericho Sims sighting.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad if we see
foul
Jericho
trouble
Sims
tonight. You know what I mean?
If you see Jericho Simpson, I know the game over. If you see Jericho Simpson tonight, it's over, man. Oh man.
I guess one way or the other, either the Knicks blew them out or they blew us out, right?
Right.
One of them. Steph, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I like all of those, Sam. What I would add, RJ, Randle, and Fournier have to show up. Randle cannot take 10 shots and have 5 points. RJ has to give us close to 20. And Fournier has to be in double figures as well. In my opinion, we count on those 3 guys every single night at this point. Whatever we can get from the others, we need that as well. But those 3 guys have to show up every night. We need them. So that's the key to the game. I don't know which Randle is going to show up tonight, but if it's that aggressive Randle, we good. RJ's been aggressive. I'm not even worrying about him. But Randle and Fournier, some nights they're aggressive and some nights they're not.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, we do. We need all 3 of them to show up. Isaiah?
Gamo's gonna kill me because I stole one of his stuff in the comments. But I said I'm gonna say it because I said it. I don't care. You got to slow down Garland off the ball, on the ball. Got to slow him down, both sides when he's all because he's a great, and mind you, he is a great shooter. He's a young great shooter. He's 36%. But when they drafted him, I know that he was playing shooting guard, I think, for the most part, or section of him were playing on and off point guard. But this kid can shoot. Again, RJ, keep doing what you're doing, baby. He's in a really good. He's in a good zone right now. I don't want him to even think about anything else. He's in a good zone. I mean, like you said, Steph, I'm gonna agree with you. Listen, this is the schedule from hell that's coming up, and it's no ifs and buts about it. And again, they're not gonna play great every game. We know that they're human beings. They're gonna have off nights. That's the NBA. You have 82 games, but if we're gonna succeed in this stretch of basketball, then those gotta be the catalysts. And whenever Derrick Rose comes back too, I'm gonna count him as 4. But those 3 right now, until Derrick Rose comes back, he has to be. These guys got to be our engine. RJ right now, he's good. Don't worry, you don't gotta worry about him. Those other 2,
right?
It's tough. And I think tonight, again, right? It's just with Julius Randle, it just gets so frustrating because he'll have a game like yesterday. Him and RJ playing good playing good. He's in a good zone. And then, he comes up with the 10, like you said, 10 shots, not looking aggressive, or he's doing too much. You're literally seeing him think on the court. Right. And Evan Fournier, it's just Evan Fournier. So we got to deal with that. Yeah, but
listen, I'm not getting. I love what RJ's doing. I'm not gonna come out and say we know what we're gonna get from RJ every single night yet.
Okay, no,
I'm not going to say that yet. I'm not ready to say that yet because we've seen him play well and then all of a sudden go into a stupor. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that he's just going to continue.
Yeah, I think, for example, like that stretch with, I think the Timberwolves game, I think he took that game very personal. Because I think he really remembered, of course he remembered what, because the Knicks fans keep reminding him, yo, you gonna get Anthony Edwards. He probably got tagged multiple times in that interview before that game. So, again, and we know players, he's young. He's on social media. He sees it. So I think that game was really bad because he wanted to take that matchup bad.
Right.
He wanted to show up.
I'm just saying, don't jinx him.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
But it brings up a good point, Sam. Is he on a hot streak or is this just who he is? And this is what we can expect.
That's what we're hoping.
Every game.
That's what we're hoping, that this is just who he is.
I mean, he has been scoring He's been scoring almost over 15 points almost every game, I think.
Oh, definitely.
The last 7-8 games, he's probably been 21, 22 points a game.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this is RJ.
Hey, Sim. I don't know why you say this to you. Gilmore said put some respect on RJ's name. I don't know where he's getting that from.
I don't know. He's just mad. He's mad because you stole his take. You probably said his take on here before he got a chance to say it on his show tonight. You know what I mean? So now he's like, everyone's gonna think. You know what I mean? That's all that is.
Oh man.
But anyway, last question before I get out of here. How many minutes do you think Cam gets tonight, if any at all?
Is Mitch playing or not?
You know what?
He might get more if Mitch is not playing, because maybe.
See if we can get an updated report.
Real quick, Sim, after this game, when the next time we play? Because that's kind of important too.
Wednesday, I believe it is.
I mean, they might rest him today so he can play Wednesday.
Who? Cam?
No. Oh, you talking about? I'm sorry, Steph. You said Cam. I thought you were talking about Mitch.
Cam.
I thought you said Mitch. Is Mitch out?
He's questionable.
Yeah, I was asking that. Yeah, if he's out, that does open up some more front court minutes. If they move, it depends. If he goes small, that can open up some minutes for Cam.
Right. Yeah, Mitch is questionable still.
Still.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's probably not going to play. Let the ankle rest. He's questionable though.
I say he get over 5 though, Sam. You don't think?
I think it depends on Kemba Walker. I mean, Kemba Walker, I'm assuming that he's going to start. They still have him as questionable. If Kemba Walker is playing, then I don't know where he gets those minutes in that second unit unless Obi don't get the minutes. And I'm going to tell you what, if that happens, boy, it's going to be people going.
Hey, son, this
people go, oh, man.
Hey, so I'm not gonna lie to you though, Sim.
Listen,
I might be more curious with Cam.
But listen, either way that it happens, if Cam doesn't play, or if he only gets 5 minutes, or if Cam plays over Obi, it's gonna be something. People are gonna be, it's gonna be something.
Well, but also, Sim, but you gotta. So this is tough, right? Because you gotta be smart how you treat Obi, because the way he's looking. I don't know if he's gonna be a Knick by the summer, by the summertime. But you got to be careful because you don't want to shoot. You don't want to shoot his trade value down at the end of the day. You don't want to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think just I don't know. Well, let me not say this because this front overs flip Kevin Knox for Cam. So you never know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time. This has been the Game Day Pregame Show. Make sure you check out the link in the description of this video. I will catch you guys tonight after the game. I guess like 9:45, 10 o'clock, since it's an early game. Remember, the game begins at 7 p.m. tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Be peaceful.
Queens Court at 6.
Oh, yes, that's right. Queens Court at 6 o'clock. As a matter of fact, as soon as this video ends, as soon as we close this out, it's going to take you over to the Queens Court video so you can set your reminders and be ready to get up in there at 6 o'clock. Just about an hour from now, hour and 15 minutes or so from now, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And what's the main topic of the show, Steph?
Has RJ Barrett arrived?
Has RJ
is this a hot streak or is this something we could count
Steph,
on?
I am so scared for this video.
There we go.
This video better than age, bro.
Listen, and Legion is going to be in there. You already know Legion's going to be in there.
Right.
That's his son. That's his son.
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out the Queens Court, 6 p.m. The end of this video is going to take you right there so you can set your reminders. We out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Knick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we come coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.